done with the troubles of the world. I will be done with the troubles of the world.
The Unity Center is home to a lot of people, and at least that's what it's became. So what we thought about doing is open up a center where people could come and find their comfort and find in, the passion of being authentic in themselves, and find empowerment in that, because I think that we're missing that in our communities. And with all the drugs and the violence and the crime and things going on in my communities right now, a lot of people just all they need is a hug. And right now that's what the Unity Center has been, just that. We've been a hug for people.
I will be done with the troubles of the world, with the troubles of the world, with the troubles.
Probably about 3 years ago, me and my friends, Nicholas Arcane and Robert Yoder, we just hung out all the time, and we would have moments where we would sit around by the fire and talk about life and sustainability, and we just came up with this idea that we needed to create something for our community to get them more involved. So we came up with the idea of Eden. We went into the idea of starting a community center for everybody to be able to come to, where we could bring families together. Just took off, and it just kind of was a very spontaneous type thing. We wanted to be an outreach place. We wanted to be able to bring the community in.
So the Unity Center basically evolved from that, having that conversation of we need to create a place, and I needed to create action. So we started looking for real estate around our town to build a place. Basically, we went and we met with our landlord. My landlord was a super nice guy, ex-martial artist, real good friends with my uncle growing up, so all those signs of the universe was there. My landlord, he expressed he was a Christian, and I told him I was also, I had been raised Christian. So we talked about our love for Jesus Christ and a couple of things like that, you know what I mean, and bada bing, bada boom, I paid the guy, and
each of us just put a little part of our lives into this building. Like everything that we have some of it came from our homes and donation, time, ideas. We all just got together and this is what unfolded.
So we opened the Unity Center. We had no idea what we was doing. I paid 4 months in advance. I got all the utilities turned on, and we just started coming up with ideas. We just wanted to stir up and empower the community, and I think we did just that.
I'm Shane Myers from Marion, Ohio. I work for Disco Pizza. My passion is just creating good vibes and transmitting love any way I can. Rather it's hugging somebody or dancing with somebody or just listening to somebody. I've hid, like I said, in the background for so long, and I just want to get out there and create good however I can. I first got involved with the Unity Center. It was probably back in, I'd say around January. I've seen a lot of action on Facebook through Nicholas and Dolly Salisbury. This is my hometown, and there's always been a lot of negative vibes through my hometown here, and I saw they was really wanting to, try to bring positive back to the town. So, I found interest in that and decided to come here and be a part of it. Well, I moved here from South Carolina. Scaled down my life a whole lot. Lived in the camper here. First, I just started. I was just going to start basically just being night watchman here, but and be kind of behind the scenes. But I realized there was a little bit more than behind the scenes for me to be a part of. So as soon as I walked in the door, it was smiles and hugs, and he didn't even know who I was exactly yet. And I introduced myself as Shane, and it clicked. And you know, that was like an instant brotherhood bond right there between me and Nicholas at that moment, you know. And it's just pure family. Everybody gives you that vibe regardless of anything. It's just, you know you're in a good place when you walk in them doors.
The first time I met Shag, he was just this burst of energy, and I was immediately drawn towards him. He lived here for a while, and then he moved away, but I always stayed in touch with him. And then I started telling him about what I was up to, and me and Robert and Nick, and I just give him little bits and pieces. He said, well, that sounds really cool, you know. And then eventually, you know, he came back here to live, to be a part of what we're doing. He had to give up a lot to come here, but and I know this has got to be hard for him because he gave up so much, and so didn't Robert. So didn't we all sacrificed? But at the end of the day, it's still worth it.
If you build it, they will come. They will come to this podunk town, you know. So we found the fruits of our labors, not in money, but in the company that have came to create harmony with us.
I remember one day, I was when we were starting to bring things in. The most memorable time was just, it felt so good. I was standing actually over by the pool table, and I was standing next to Shag, and he had just got here, you know, and I started to cry. I was like, this is really happening, and he's like, I think so, you know, and to watch it all unfold into this place where people could come was just a dream come true, you know, to be able to have a place to call home. During the community events, when people walk into the Unity Center, their eyes just, they just come alive, and they're like, wow, this is just great, you know, and the vibe and the feeling that comes from everybody, they feel like they're a part of something.
You know, it was a lot of strangers coming together, you know. A lot of, at that point, hardly any of them people knew each other face to face, you know. And then there was also a couple of the old time people that you know you did know, rehashing, you know, old memories and stuff. And you know, there's kids playing games and live bands on the stage, you know, and had the bonfire even though it was very cold that night. But you know, everybody was trying to, you know, soldier up and go out to the fire for a little bit, but that lasted for a little bit, and then we all went back in, and it was just, you know, it's just everybody, you know, wanting that good vibe, and that's where we found it.
Well, during our growth, we catered to everybody. We held different events. It wasn't just about the gathering. We held other events like Pride. We held just musical events. We also catered to the community as far as getting them to come in, and they did birthday parties, weddings, all kinds of activities that we did here. And we held an event which was the end all because we opened up our doors to the LGBT community.
It starts with sometime in early March, mid-March actually. We was planning a couple events for that March, one of which was our Night of Stars, which was paying host to the LGBT community. So we was, you know, pretty excited about it, pretty excited about that opportunity, and we was telling our landlord, who at the time I thought we was on the same page with what we were doing in terms of us bringing, you know, universal love to our community. And when I told him about what we was doing, because we was engaged in like a long conversation, he basically just like was looking off in the distance after I started telling him about it. The moment I mentioned gay pride in Marion, and then he was like, well, I better go. He drove off, and then that started the process of him trying to evict us.
Evicted. Noise complaints was what started it, and the end result, they got us for, you know, not having renter's insurance. That's how they got the eviction to pass through.
I wasn't here when the landlord and his wife came, but I know it wasn't good, and they pretty much just displayed that they didn't want our kind of people in their building. So, you know, here we are today with, as you can see and you can look around, we're moving out. And it's sad because we're just now getting started.
The process of tearing down the Unity Center this week had been pretty heavy for me. Once we got our final eviction letter, I kind of tried to hide it in my head that it was happening to us. I felt like I had to wish it away in my mind. And
Man, packing everything up, that's depressing, to be honest. You know, I came here and I put a lot of work. You know, I've built a few things here, and you know, and took a lot of pride in that because you know, I was wanting to see this flourish. You know, when they stopped us dead in our tracks, you know, it was hard. And these last couple of days, been tearing down the stage and dismantling the aquaponics system, and that's rough.
It feels terrible. It feels terrible that we have to move, but at the same time, you know, I try not to focus on that bad part about it. I just think it'll just pivot us into the direction we need to go, because we did, you know, as much as we didn't get as many people in here as we wanted to, we did get out there, and people do know, they do recognize the We the Meek symbol. They do, you know, understand, you know, they have an idea of what we are starting to do, you know. I don't know.
I'm stuck looking around at all of the beauty in the wall, the beauty on the walls, and the beauty that the building had brought people, and the love and acceptance and stuff, and the new culture in Marion County. And I'm forced to see that it was destroyed by bigotry and hatred. So it was kind of tough. And now that I'm tearing the building down and moving on, it's washing my hands away with, you know, of all of it, and really giving us an opportunity to move forward. So it's a full circle blessing. We're really those rainbow warriors, you know what I mean? And we need to figure out how we coexist with nature, and what our duties is as, what I like to say, shepherds of the earth. You know, in all creations that are below us, we should be helping along.
Maybe one day even having, like, it's my dream to always have this Eden house. I know that's what I've always thought, that we could have an Eden house where people could come and live and help work in the land and contribute as one. We should be able to do that every day, you know, and eat healthy foods and just live the way we're supposed to be living.
We're not over by any means. It's just another bump in the road, and we can keep moving forward through it, you know.
The best words of wisdom that I can impart on anybody is just to take part. You know, take part and do your part, no matter what that part is. You know, whether it's picking up trash or spreading cheer, or you know, creating movements, standing holding picket signs, you know, drawing, painting, you know, music, whatever it is. Keep taking part and keep making it move, and keep talking and keep smiling and keep loving and keep awakening other people. And that's about it. Be the change. That's all you can be. You know, we talk so much about the change and what the change is, and the movement and stuff, and the movement and the change is all just you. The person who's receiving your projections is, I think, of the most importance. You know, just getting along, learning to love each other again. That's what it's about. Love.